So anyway, it's your girl BeeSparrow on this Sabbath. Shabbat Shalom. How y'all doing today? What's up with everybody? Well, I just learned how to go live with this website called StreamYard, and I am loving it. Because for a minute I wasn't able to go live on the YouTube, but now with this new website, it's not even an app, it's not even a download. StreamYard, I can just go live and just say what I want to say. But anyway, like I said, it's your girl BeeSparrow, BuzzzTweet Radio. I am trying to, me and my husband have been trying to acknowledge the Sabbath. So I've been studying a bit. We've been studying a bit. We was taught that the Sabbath starts on sundown Friday night, from sundown Friday night to Saturday night, sundown Saturday, sundown Friday night, from sundown to Friday night to sundown Saturday night. And I've been studying about that, and I came across this video where this guy was saying that is not correct, that the Sabbath should be on the seventh day, sun up to sundown. And that makes more sense to me because that is the Sabbath, the seventh day. So the Sabbath is a day, according to Google, the Sabbath is a day of religious observance and abstinence from work kept by so-called Jews from Friday evening to Saturday evening, and by most Christians on Sunday. That doesn't make sense to me because the Most High says, remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. He said the Sabbath day, not the Sabbath days. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days you shall labor and do all your work, but the seventh day is a Sabbath to the Lord your God. On it you shall not do any work, you or your son or your daughter, your male servant or your female servant, or your livestock, or the sojourner who is within your gates. For 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, the sea, and all that is in them, and rested on the seventh day. Therefore, the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and made it holy. Now, when I was in the church, they used to teach that the Sabbath was a day that you rest in the Lord. I guess a day, but the Most High just said rest. He just said rest. He didn't say study my word all day, listen to my music all day, praise me all day. You know why? Because we're supposed to be doing that every day. Every day. Every day. And this is my own belief. Because on the seventh day, he said rest. But the seventh day is a Sabbath to the Lord your God. On it you shall not do any work. You, your son, your daughter, your servant, your female servant, your male servant, your livestock, or whoever is sojourning with you within your gates. For 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, the sea, and all that is in them, and rested on the seventh day. Therefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and made it holy. It didn't say he blessed the Sabbath days, or it didn't say he blessed the Sabbath weekend. It says, therefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day, which is the seventh day from sunrise to sundown. Now, when the Most High gave the Israelites the Ten Commandments at biblical Mount Sinai, they were commanded to remember the Sabbath and keep it holy by not doing any work and allowing the whole household to cease from work. This was in recognition of God's act of creation and the special status that God has conferred on the seventh day during the creation week. Now, the Torah patrols the Sabbath concept both in terms of resting on the Sabbath day and allowing land to lie fallow during each seventh year. The motivation is described as going beyond a sign and remembrance of Yahweh's original rest during the creation week, and extends to a concern that one's servant, family, and livestock may be able to rest and be refreshed from their work. In addition to the instruction to rest on each Sabbath day and seventh year, periods of 7 days are often relevant aspects of biblical instructions. For example, the quarantine period for suspected skin disease after initial examination by a priest was 7 days, after which the priest would re-examine the skin and pronounce the person clean or unclean. Other special days include the day after the seventh Sabbath, the first day of the seventh month, the day of ritual cleansing and being healed from an unclean disease or other event bringing uncleanliness. In addition, in the Battle of Jericho, Joshua commanded the army to march around Jericho each day for 7 consecutive days and to march around Jericho 7 times on the seventh day. The Torah describes disobedience to the command to keep the Sabbath day holy as punishable by death, and failing to observe Sabbath years would be compensated for during the captivity that would result from breaking covenant. The Torah also describes how special bread was to be set out before Yahweh Sabbath by Sabbath, and describes Sabbath day offerings. The Day of Atonement was regarded as a Sabbath of Sabbaths. It was on the day alone that the Kohen Gadol, high priest, entered the Kodesh HaKodashim, the most holy place, inside the tabernacle where the Ark of the Covenant contained the stone tablets on which the 10 Commandments were engraved. The presence of Yahweh in Kodesh, HaKodashim, on that yearly day upon the mercy seat required that the Kohen Gadol be first purified by the sacrifice of a bull in a prescribed manner. Entering the most holy place on the other days or without fulfilling the ritual requirements would subject the priest to death. There was so much that had to be done. I thank the Most High that he sent his son, because we don't have to do all those things. Of course, we are required to keep the Sabbath, but we don't have to go out and kill a bullock or a bull, for the cleansing of our sins. There's so much that we don't know. There's so much that the more that I learn, that I don't know a daggone thing. It's crazy. And the more that I do my research, I'm looking around at all these, everybody knows so much. Everybody knows so much. Who do you follow? Who do you listen to? So I try to study, and I know I can't do it on my own because there's some things that I don't understand that need to be explained. But my goodness, it seems like everybody is a scholar these days. Everybody is a scholar. One person telling you this thing, one person is telling you the other thing, when the Most High is only telling you one thing. And half the time, we can't even do what the Most High tell us to do. It's no wonder he had to send someone. Anyway, I'm just ranting because, I just figured out how to go live on YouTube, and I don't even know where my brothers and sisters are that I used to fellowship with. I have no idea where they are or how to get in contact with them. It's just crazy. It's just crazy. I'm sitting here on this Sabbath alone, trying to get my study on, trying to find someone to fellowship with. It's not easy. It's not easy. But I try. I keep going. I try to understand the Most High and what he wants from me. But I know my answers did not lie in the traditional church. I know that for sure. In fact, I know now that the Most High called me out from under the traditional church. But the question is, what now? The question is, what now? So, anyway. It's your girl, BeeSparrow.